Hi, we're Joel and Lia. Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And today's video is 5 obvious things that no one tells you before you come to the UK.
Okay, so this video is inspired by when I met Kate from Chicago. Kate's a viewer of our channel, and she was like, there's some really obvious things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was like...
But where did you meet her?
Well, I met her in Edinburgh whilst doing my show, plug. And my laptop broke that day, and we couldn't do the show, so she didn't even see it. But we went to the Apple store in the end, and Kate came with me, got a new laptop, and we hit it off. We had lunch together, and it was fantastic. And yeah, we just got chatting, and she's given me some really good ideas for a video, which I want to share with everyone.
I'm so sad that I missed it. It's so funny because it's like it just reinforces that our viewers can actually be our friends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's so good.
Yeah, she was like really cool. She's a teacher, and she's like in her 30s. Yeah, it was really great.
Oh,
such a lovely day. I couldn't believe it. So shall I kick it off with the first one? I've written down the list. There were more than 5 before, but now it's sort of 5 practical things that everyone needs to know before they come to the UK, and this is mainly targeted at Americans. So first one is going to the pub. We made a video about going to pubs, but we actually didn't mention the most obvious thing, which is that you have to go up to, I was going to say the desk. We have to go up to the bar to order. Yeah,
even if it's food, not just drinks. Like,
yeah,
you remember your table number. And there's no table service. People don't come to you in pubs.
No.
You've got to do it yourself.
So Kate was like, yeah, I got a seat at a really busy pub. And I was like, I didn't want to leave my table because I didn't want my seat to get taken. But then I found out you have to go and get up and order. No one ever tells you this.
Yeah, it's so true.
So how do we know that? Like,
I don't know.
Just ingrained in us.
Yeah, because obviously in a restaurant, it sounds obvious, but in a restaurant, they will serve you. But if it's a pub, then they won't.
Yeah, if it's a Wetherspoons, it could even be laid out like a restaurant. It's really hard. You just walk in and you know.
Yeah,
you can
know.
like, I can tell if this place is going to come to me, or if I need to go to them.
Or if in doubt, you just go up anyway, and they'll be like, "Oh, no, we'll come to you," and you're like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah.
So I think Brits just naturally, whereas I feel like Americans would naturally assume that people would come to them, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how restaurants work. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we had breakfast this morning, I said, "Oh, do we go up to pay? Because you have to like go up to the counter and pay there. They don't bring you the bill."
Yeah.
So if they don't bring you the bill, you just be sitting there for ages, sort of thinking like, is the service really bad? No, you have to go up to pay.
Yeah.
And then at a pub, you pay before you eat. So you'll remember your table number, which will be like on a sort of like size of a penny on your table, like embedded into your table.
It might be written on a wooden spoon, and the wooden spoon is like put in a vase or something.
Yeah. So you remember that number, go up, and then you say, I'm at this table. Da 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 da. Sounds so obvious saying it out loud.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like a bit of a weird.
But probably isn't obvious. It's obvious to us.
So obvious. Yeah.
Clearly, Kate was baffled.
Kate was baffled, and it was really funny hearing about these things, because the next one she told me was about charging a device.
So number 2.
So number 2 is you have to. You don't just plug things in if you want charge. You have to switch them on.
When you told me this, I was literally like, what? And then I remembered that, when in our house in Florida, you literally just put the plug in. There's no switch.
There's no switch. So over here, you get the plug, you put the plug into the plug socket, and then you switch on the switch.
Yeah. If it's not switched on, then even if you've plugged it in, it's not going to work.
No power will come out. So I was saying to Kate, so do you not, when you go on holiday, do you not go around your house switching off all the switches? She was like, no, just unplug stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, wow. I think that's dangerous.
Also,
like kids can put stuff in there.
I feel like it's our version is lazier, which isn't like the stereotype would be that Americans, they do everything for convenience, like the drive-throughs, everything's convenient. Yeah. But for us, like, we don't have to unplug anything. We just like click the switch.
Oh, I see.
So like it's so convenient.
Yeah, but I think ours is a safety measure, because children could like prod at those. Yeah. And if
that's true.
You know what I mean, and if they're on, and if there's always a current coming through, that's dangerous.
Dangerous.
But I'm not hating on your country.
Because we love America.
Love America. The next one, which is so funny, is that when you get given your keys from your like Airbnb host, they're not props. They're not something you put around your neck as like a necklace. They're actual keys. She was like, keys don't look like the way they do here. She's like, these look like Harry Potter keys.
So funny.
All these keys don't look real to me. I'd wear that as a piece of jewellery, which I thought was hilarious.
So funny.
It's not a great example, but these sorts of keys like this, Kate couldn't believe, like, and they were also like
I've got like a brass
one. Have you got a brass one?
Yeah, my bag.
These ones.
This is my old one.
Is that your house key?
A house key. So traditionally, I think houses in the UK will have one of each. This is like the heavy lock, and then this is the one that's a bit weaker. Yeah. But normally, you come with two. But I didn't realise Americans don't really use these ones.
No, they don't. She was like, we don't have them like that.
Wow.
She said these look like something we'd see in Harry Potter.
Yeah, because they're Harry Potter keys in the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone if you're American. They have the wings and they're flying. She said, our keys just kind of look like that. Which is, we do have these ones. That's just the top lock, and this is like the dead lock at the bottom. Yeah. Interesting. I had no idea. Yeah, I know. Interesting, right? Yeah. Nowhere has aircon. Actually, I think lots of shops have aircon. Lots of food places have aircon. But no houses, no Airbnbs have aircon. No. Hotel rooms do. So like the Hilton, when I stayed in the Hilton last week, they had aircon. But houses just here in the UK aren't built with aircon. We don't have aircon. No, all we're prepared for is rain. Yeah. So we're not prepared for... Do you know, this is something I noticed about Londoners. It's so funny in London seeing tourists because as soon as there's a drop of rain, suddenly all these umbrellas pop out. Right. And you just look around and you'll see a bunch of tourists just like covering their heads and like running. And it's so funny that Brits just always, even if it's summer, they have an umbrella in their bag. They're just always prepared. Pretty much. You never know. You just never know. Whereas it's just, I just love seeing the scramble of tourists. And I'm like, you need an umbrella. And then all the shops put umbrella stands outside of their shops and charge you like 20 quid for an umbrella. So if you're coming to the UK, get yourself a little mini umbrella and put it in your bag. Yeah, someone chavved my umbrella. Did they? Yeah, I texted Joel about it. I've already said it in another video. Yeah. Typical. And umbrellas are a freebie in London. You know, you just find them left on the tube. Just take them, really. Just take them. But you have my permission to take the umbrellas. I shouldn't say that on the internet. Don't know if I believe this one, but Kate says you have to ask for ice. In my experience, whenever I ask for, because I normally order a Diet Coke, that's my go-to drink, or Pepsi Max. Whenever I ask for that, they go, ice and lemon? And I go, no. Yeah, no ice, no lemon? No, because then they fill it with ice and hardly any Diet Coke. So I'm like, no, I know your game. Give me all pure Diet Coke. Or Pepsi Max. Or Pepsi Max. Yeah, I know him. Yeah. But no hate. I don't care. I know it's not good for you. I know the sweeteners aren't good for you. It's 0 calories. So, you know, I get those comments being like, that will make you fat. I'm like, no, it won't. But I know that the sweeteners aren't good. Yeah, we had a discussion about this yesterday. I was like, so Joel, what is so bad about drinking fizzy drinks? And you were just like, this. But I still drink it. Just be right back for my refill. Yeah. Hardly anywhere does refill. Oh yeah, no. That's not something Kate and I discussed. That's just something we're telling you. That's a practical thing. No one does refills. Free refills. It's not very. They do at Pizza Hut and Nando's. That's the only ones I know. That's it, literally. So the next one is confusion about adding tips. So I know that in America you often add it to the receipt, so it comes with your total, and then there's a line that sort of says tip or gratuity, and a line, and you can write down how much tip you want to leave. We don't have that line here. We don't have that line. There's nowhere on the receipt to write anything or add a tip. But again, I think that comes from in America where they tend to take your card away, swipe it. Like we now just do chip and pin, so there's no... Or contactless. Or contactless. So you can add a gratuity or a tip on the machine most of the time, or you just leave it in cash on the table, but there's nowhere to write a tip on a receipt, so don't expect to do that. Yeah. And the other thing about tips, Kate was saying, don't leave money on the table, someone might take it. It's very true. It's true, but I think that's true everywhere. It's true everywhere. Yeah. If you leave money on the table, like the thing is, a lot of people that work in the service industry here, they're not expecting a tip. Yeah. So because they get paid, I don't know, £9–10 an hour. So if you leave a tip on the table, someone else cheeky might take it, unfortunately. And also I feel like in America, from my experience, that they put like the bill in a little plastic wallet sort of thing, so that you can sort of just, it's sort of hidden from view. Whereas in the UK they don't do that, they just give you a piece of paper. Yeah, there's no hiding. No. Only in sort of like more expensive restaurants is there like a leather pouch. A leather pouch. Yeah. We've kind of done 5, but there are a few more things. Well, there's actually one other thing that we're going to mention. Yeah, Oyster cards and about using an Oyster card. So if you're coming to London specifically, you can buy an Oyster card. I'm sure you all know this. We're going to link up our friend Jess's video, which is all about like
how to get an Oyster card,
and she's American, so
yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's great.
So you can use the Oyster cards on the trains and the buses.
Yeah.
Trains, buses.
So tubes, buses, and some trains.
Yes, and when you use it on a tube, you get charged for how far you go, what zone you travel between. But on a bus, you don't get charged for how far you go. You just tap it once, and it's
a flat rate.
It's a flat rate if you go from here to here, or if you go from here to here. So buses can be really, really good if you're trying to go a long way and not spend a lot of money. But I have seen Americans tap once to get on the bus and then tap again to get off the bus.
Because that's what you do on the tube. You tap to get in and you tap to get out. But on the bus, that will just make you get charged twice.
And I just have my head in my hands. I laugh a bit and then I just go, do you know what? There's nothing. There's nothing. Couldn't have saved them. They all just went, shall we tap out? I'm like, no.
Yeah, don't tap out on buses.
Yeah.
I feel like tourists wouldn't really use buses that much though. They just go on the tube, but do they?
Oh, hun, you know when a tourist gets on the bus and asks the driver like a million questions, like, does this go to Trafalgar Square? Does this go to... And you're just like, hurry up. Yeah. Use an app. There's a really good app that I recommended. It's called City Mapper, and it's just so good. You type in where you are, or it just says current location, type in where you want to go. It tells you the best route to get there, what tube to take, what carriage to sit on to allow for the quickest changeovers and the nearest exit. I would highly recommend you download that. And there's also just an actual map called Tube Map app, and you can just see the whole tube. This is getting very London focused. I know we said this would be more like a UK, but we're hoping those practical things will be
UK
quite
ones.
helpful.
What plugs are UK?
Plugs the UK.
I don't know, the other things, the keys UK.
Going to a pub,
that's UK.
Everywhere in the UK. Some other funny things that Kate said that I just thought were hilarious were dogs in the UK are cuter than American dogs.
How? It's so ridiculous. They're the same dogs as in the US.
I think she meant like as well, like the conversation starter feels easier. You know, you don't just strike up a conversation, but if someone's got a dog, you probably can.
Yeah, because you just start stroking them.
Yeah, oh, you miss a dog.
I miss my dog.
Should we go and stroke some dogs today?
Yeah.
Yay! He's so happy. That's the happiest I've seen him. The last thing I said to Kate is we went to get some food, and she was like, I'm really conscious that I'm speaking loudly. And I was like, just be yourself, hon.
I think this is an insecurity that we've perpetuated by saying Americans are so loud, you can tell them. And it's like, there is truth to that, but at the same time, we don't care. We'd be like, be yourself, be your truest self.
If I hadn't lost my voice, I'd be louder today.
Yeah, it's true.
But...
And as you guys know, we're actually quite loud for Brits, I think. Lots of people are saying that we're more American than we are British. Because in our demeanour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know how I feel about all of that. But getting used to it.
Getting used to it.
That's pretty much everything. If you've enjoyed this video, do all of the things. Yeah,
don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. We post thrice weekly. Leave us a comment down below if you've been to the UK. Let us know in the poll. So, explain the poll. Right, so everyone, so every time we say vote in the poll, some people know that that's because you can press the little I button and a little box pops out and there's like a question and you can click on your answer. But some people are just like, I've never seen this poll, and that's just because you've not looked hard enough. Yeah, some people were like, oh, I just thought it was a running joke that they say like vote in the poll, but there's no poll. And like, no, the little I in the top right corner above Leah's head, you click that and then this thing opens and there's a poll, there's other videos to watch. It shows up on mobile devices, so it should be there for everybody if you're watching on a desktop or on a mobile phone or on an iPad. So yeah, I mean, there was one exception to this. I uploaded a video yesterday and I forgot to put the poll in. It's true. I forgot to put everything in. So 3,000 people had watched the video and there was no poll. But it sparked off. Or end screen or cards. All the cards, all of those things. Just forgot. So yeah, that got mended and the polls are back on. So go and find them, guys. Yeah, and we'll see you next time. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye. I love that we've just made a video about like keys and plugs and pubs. And pubs, just such a basic video. To us that feels so obvious. I know. But that will help someone. Well, I hope so. Or they'll just go, so funny. Already knew all of that. Already knew that. Kate was an idiot. Yeah. Is she even American? Is she?